Good afternoon, fellow Scouts and Scouters. My name is Stanislav Watson. I would like to thank Bishop Guglielmone, Father Gray, and Mr. Weisgerter for allowing me to share my thoughts with you and for all they do for Scouting. I started with Boy Scouts' first religious emblem, Ad Altare Dei, which in Latin translates to At the Altar of God. Ad Altare Dei helped deepen my understanding of the sacraments. It also provides a detailed outline of the parts of the Mass. Ad Altare Dei motivated me to continue to be an altar server to this day. After completing Ad Altare Dei, I enthusiastically decided to tackle the Pope Pius XII religious emblem. The Pope Pius XII religious emblem helped me understand the variety of different vocations available in life. It also helped guide me to discern the priesthood as a realistic option for my own vocation. While participating in the Pope Pius XII religious emblem, I began thinking of the vocation to the priesthood. Finishing the religious emblems offered to the Boy Scouts of America was not the end for me, however. Continuing my religious journey as a scout and young man, I had the great honor and privilege to be selected by the Diocese of Charleston Catholic Committee to attend the St. George's Trek in the mountains of New Mexico. You can probably tell by its title that it is a religious-themed trek. The St. George's Trek is set up so that each group has a priest and seminarian, or in our trek, the female group ventures with Catholic nuns as their guides. The St. George's experience started with a 3-day stay at the Madonna Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico. While at the Madonna Center, I got to meet Boy Scouts and Venture Scouts from all over the United States. During the retreat at the Madonna Center, my group and I learned how to become a team by sharing personal experiences and doing team-building exercises, such as putting up a tent and being blindfolded or having an arm or leg tied up. My group and I also voted on who would be our team leader, navigator, chaplain's aide, and wilderness guru, the no-trace trainer. Before heading out on the adventure of a lifetime, all the scouts had Mass with Bishop Guglielmone. At the end of the Mass, Bishop Guglielmone blessed us all and bid us good luck on the trail. Before I begin recounting to you the highlights of my adventures in the mountains of New Mexico, let me tell you that Philmont, although a great experience, is however not an easy thing to achieve. Some may think that since the St. George's Trek is not one of the officially listed treks at Philmont, that it may be easier. This opinion is wrong, however, because of the fact that every trek down at Philmont is a challenge due to high climate and altitudes. Philmont is not to be underestimated. I would like to now begin telling you the highlights of my unforgettable adventures at Philmont on the St. George's Trek. The first highlight for me on the trek was when my group and I were hiking at night due to taking some wrong turns. We had covered about 20 miles that day and couldn't wait to get to the next campsite. That's when we heard the screeching of a mountain lion behind us. The scouts in the back started throwing rocks behind them, and thankfully were able to keep the mountain lion at bay until we reached our next campsite. Another highlight of my trek was while my group and I were having lunch one day on the trail. Maybe it was coincidence, but while I was eating a can of tuna, I looked around and saw a bear cub run across the trail not 50 feet away and climb up a tree. After 5 minutes later, I saw the mother bear run after her cub. Being able to see God's creatures up close like that was really cool. Yet another highlight of my trek was having the opportunity of meeting together with all the scouts, seminarians, priests, and nuns at the campsite for 2 days of rest. While at the 2-day rest at the campsite, I had the opportunity of attending Mass with Bishop Gelfinger. It was such an amazing experience because we had Mass in the middle of a thunder and lightning storm. Instead of the sound of bell chimes, when the body of Christ is elevated, we heard great booms of thunder as it rolled around us. And of course, there's nothing like singing in the rain, right? My favorite part of the trek, however, was climbing up Mount Baldy and having the amazing opportunity of celebrating Mass at 12,441 feet. That is well over 2 miles high. You can't imagine how peaceful it was. The clouds surrounded the mountaintop and were so close that I could touch them. The experience on Mount Baldy reminded me of the Transfiguration scene in the Bible. Everyone was emotionally and physically high as the clouds. We wanted to stay there and enjoy the experience, but like the apostles, we had to come down. We had to return to our everyday lives. Reflecting on that helps me to realize that the difficulties in everyday life can be overcome, just like the challenges on the trail were. After completing the St. George's Trek, I knew that I could accomplish anything, no matter how hard the test. St. George is the patron saint of scouting. He is usually portrayed killing a dragon to rescue a beautiful lady. When we realize that the dragon stands for all that is evil, we come to realize that the lady stands for God's holy truth. We will all have dragons to slay in the challenges of our everyday lives. We can be soldiers of Christ in our battle to be the best scouts we can be. Lord Baden-Powell reminds us that we never fail when we try to do our duty, only when we neglect to do our duty. As the Scout Oath states, we all have a duty to God, our country, and ourselves. I challenge you to do your best. Work hard on your religious emblems and make sure you apply for the St. George's Trek. You will not regret it.